Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me is Shanaberger, co-founding partner and CEO of Boone, a tech-enabled firm developing intelligent automation and emerging technology to national security agencies. As we're going through the waves of COVID, Joy, what have you learned to improvise and adapt within Boone?
Thank you, Jill. It's lovely to be here. It's interesting. In the last year and a half, the company has tripled in size, and I haven't met 70% of our team in person. So as a small business and a growing business in a very regulated industry, coming together on our core values of being bold, transparent, hungry, and accountable, and figuring out new ways to instill that team camaraderie was really interesting. But we did it, and because of that, we've tripled the headcount. So something worked in that resiliency.
And that's tremendous growth. Congratulations on that. And Joy, what makes you passionate about resiliency and innovation?
So my great-grandmother, her name was Alberta Boone, and I named the company after her. She helped raise me along with my single mother. And once upon a time, she too was a single mom, started a business at the tail end of the Great Depression in Detroit, and flipped her restaurant industry into a core component of the arsenal of democracy, where an entire industry that was producing cars then was called to action to produce things for World War II, to outbuild Hitler. And her constant attitude of adapting and overcoming and not accepting that's the way we've always done it, right? Here's this restaurateur getting into a defense industry has really lit my path, and it's just part of my core DNA and something that we've adapted at Boone.
Tied to what you're seeing in the industry today?
So it's interesting, during World War II, the quote unquote threat was very direct, right? The big, hairy, audacious goal from the president was for government and industry to come together to outbuild Hitler. It was, for the most part, you could predict what the threat was going to do. You could predict, the production lines and the capabilities. Today, it's much different, right? Because we live in an information space and not an industrial space. So it's very hard to predict things. It's very hard to have a defense acquisition cycle that can move at the speed of software. And because of that, there's more pressure on government and industry and policymakers to come together to cut red tape, be innovative, and not accept that's the way we've always done it.
What are your big wins or takeaways through all the challenges we've seen from COVID in this startup space?
The biggest win for us, aside from being a small business in one of the most regulated industries in the world and growing through that, for me personally, it was seeing the members of my team really come into their own and level up the leadership capabilities of the company. Right? It wasn't everybody looking at me for the answer. It was, hey, what if we try this? Can we invest in this person? Can we move this person over here to retain headcount, to grow capability, and ultimately deliver better intelligent automation services to our core clients within the national security agencies.
All right, Joy. Pleasure to see you as always. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.
Thanks, Jill.